We now continue the conversation with Anthony Feliciano and Beau Monarch as they delve back into their memories of being extras on the sets of Jurassic World.
You were a lab person.
That was my first day there, actually. And it was pretty strange because no one knew what I was supposed to be. So it was just you're a visitor, you're a scientist, you're a staff worker, and it was this weird constant ping ponging of what I was going to be. Eventually they settled on staff worker, so they had this uniform for me. And interestingly enough, my I had a little name tag on my corner that was a magnet that went onto the clothes, and it was the Jurassic Park logo, but it had a name in it, and the name was Christopher. So I was all right, I guess.
That's pretty cool, actually. I kind of wish I just had that. I'd wear it every day. Everybody would think I was a child or autistic or whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying people tend to look down their nose, whatever stupid reason. But I'd wear that around everywhere. I don't even care. I wear these hats around everywhere, and constantly I'm in graphic tees, so I ain't got no shame about my middle class, low class roots. I don't care about any of that crap.
Yes, that's my name.
I'm sitting here drinking a soda out of a can.
Oh, cool. And underneath it, how if you go to Universal or Disney, they have a name tag, and underneath.
Oh, it's raised, I think. It even looks like it might be in 3D. Oh, I want one.
It's your favorite movie or favorite character or whatever. So they had something cool like that. It was favorite dinosaur. But I did not have a dinosaur on mine. It said favorite dinosaur, and they said Dimetrodon. And I was like,
prehistoric reptile.
yeah, I was like, that's not right. So I remember being in the set, and it was incredible. Everything you see there was built. It was these glass walls and the amber props,
and all the amber
corner.
Stones.
Yeah, and they had little models of skeletons of dinosaurs, and the detail.
I think those are the basic ones you can order on Amazon.
I mean, no surprise.
See, they didn't have that yet.
Oh, when you were there, they didn't have that?
No, the skeletons weren't there. So I saw the amber walls, and I was excited about that because it reminded me of the novel and Wu pulling out, But yeah, I didn't see any of that full set dressing. That's so cool.
Yeah, and it was incredible, and it looked so real. And they had the Hammond statue there. So it was two different sets, but I guess to connect them digitally, they had the statue there. And it was so insane to see. And it was before anyone knew that was a thing, because I think Richard Attenborough was alive by that time. I think when he passed away, Colin shared the photo, and that's when it was released.
Oh, that's right. He was still alive when the production of Jurassic World started.
I remember looking at it being oh my god, this is insane. This movie's gonna be nuts. And it was so cool, but trying to play it really cool and being I'm totally just a normal person, guys, not a crazed obsessed fan. And I remember this one scene. Actually, I met Bryce there, because Bryce Dallas Howard's in that scene. So nice, like a genuinely nice person. And I feel bad doing this now, but as a more experienced actor. But I remember at the time she was rehearsing that line that she was saying about no one's impressed with a dinosaur anymore. She was rehearsing that line over and over again. And I obviously I know who she is, so I remember I just kind of glanced over and waved hi, and she smiled and waved hi back. And I feel bad doing that now, because I'm poor lady's trying to memorize her lines, and I'm just so. But she was really nice about it.
On the way up the stairs to the Mosasaur, Colin was there the first day because he was directing the kids. So apparently directors aren't supposed to direct extras. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Directors don't direct extras. It's got to be something to do with money or legality or something.
I only recently learned that. That's why the
ADs
directs you. Yeah, I had no idea. But on the way, I'm
assistant director.
This is so cool. Thank you. And he's nope, no problem. Nods at me, and I'm just now I'm you asshole, you.
But you're not supposed to know any better, because you're supposed to just be extras, random people. So
yeah.
Cool.
But also, I think he did direct me at one point.
If they were in the scene with Bryce, he would have. Yeah. So if you're there with the main actors in the little bubble that's going to be in frame,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay.
And I remember being so nervous, like even though I'm in the background. It was my first day, and I'm on a Jurassic set. Like my heart was like beating in my throat. Like I was like, this can't. Like the camera's like right there, and like I'm on a Jurassic lab set. Like this is incredible. So, but I remember just like trying to like play it cool, and I was actually giving real dinosaur facts to the other extras there. I was like mouthing little. There was like a Spinosaurus, like a little miniature Spinosaurus skeleton in one corner, and I was like, that one was in the third movie, but like going into this whole thing. So like it wasn't really much acting on my part. I was doing my part as a tour guide to be there.
Typecast.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, this is great, I can pull this off. And I remember they shot a scene that was, or it wasn't really a scene, it was a shot of a little girl. It's not in the movie, but a little girl in the lab watching like a hologram of Mr. DNA. And I remember Colin was directing her, being like, okay, it's gonna pop up and it's gonna say this thing, so like, here's your eye line, go this way. Wasn't in the movie, but it's kind of a cool fact to see like this other shot that wasn't there.
And there's something about kids too, it must be, because on the Innovation Center set, he was directing the kids that were supposed to be seeing Mr. DNA and like that IMAX visual, like the exploding meteors and stuff. And he was having the hardest time corralling those kids and getting them to look at these empty screens.
Little brats.
They had a much easier time with the little girl with the globe that's like touching it and pointing stuff out. At one point, I'm with my little extra group, and the AD is doing like the Mr. DNA speech. He's getting it wrong, and I'm turning back. I'm like, why am I not over there doing this? And I do it for them, and they're like, wow, you did it. And I was like, I know I did it. I could do it.
So it was kind of interesting that Mr. DNA would have at some point have been in the lab, but I guess like it's already in another part of the movie, so why have it twice?
Well, and some stuff was shot for the viral marketing that we saw, like for the website and everything. So some.
Oh yeah, they did an insane amount of viral marketing. And of course, like I said in the last episode, I was living in a bubble. Like I was away from computers and screens most of the time. If I wasn't working, I was at the gym or I was off gallivanting around. I was just turning 30, I think. Yeah, that was Jurassic World was 10 years ago. I'm 40, yeah. So I was coming out of my late 20s into my early 30s, and I wasn't spending a lot of time, in front of a screen as I am today. So, like I said, I really didn't know anything about this movie. I didn't know it was going into production. We had... Jurassic Part 4 had been in development hell for years at that point, because it had been since 2001, since Jurassic Part 3. And I just didn't see it happening. And I knew at the rate things were going in Hollywood, if they did another, it was going to be a reboot. Granted, it's kind of a soft reboot, but...
Those things I think did end up getting used, just not just for the movie itself. So that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember filming the lab scene, and that was done like fairly quickly, like only a couple takes, and then moved on. And I remember in the middle of the day, or maybe towards the end of the day, they kind of told all the extras, they went, anyone who wants to go home, like stand in the left corner. Anyone who wants to go in the other corner. And I remember like I'm the first one to stay. I'm like trying to like run out, like I'm not going anywhere. And they kept us for the scene where Ifran Khan comes in to talk to BD Wong. And I remember there was this is the case where they did not tell me the context of the scene that we were in. All they had told me was, you're the tour guide and dinosaurs are out. You have to get everyone out of the lab. So I'm thinking like I'm going to be scared, but like trying to like keep calm and like get people out. So I remember just being in the corner and thank God off screen, because like you can't see it in the movie, but I remember just like kind of acting like get out, gotta go. Thank God it's not in the movie.
Faster.
In the context of the movie, it's just like they didn't tell the guests that. Like they just like, you gotta go. But like they told me the dinosaurs are out. So I'm thinking like, and people need to be running. Like get out, go. Thank God it's not in the movie, because I would have looked so stupid. They're probably just like, oh, that poor tiny little idiot just trying his best.
Hey, well, that's the assistance part. Our, wrongful information to you. Yeah, direction. There we go.
Yeah. I was like, I need a little bit better direction next time.
Yeah.
Well, so the first day, the direction was you're surprised by the bleachers. Like,
Oh,
so
really?
that's why I'm looking around like a jackass as the bleachers start moving. Obviously, everybody would know. Like, how would this be a surprise for anybody that is coming to this feeding show?
Very true.
So that was the end of your first day,
Yeah, that was the end of my first day, and that was supposed to be my only day.
and then
Actually, yeah, what happened
other
was
extra, right?
exactly. I was actually supposed to go home the next day, like fly back to New York, and like New York was having a storm or something, and the flights were canceled for like 2 days, so I had to stay where I was. And thankfully, I was there because otherwise, I wouldn't have been in the Mosasaur scene. I was like, "Thank you, Lord. Thank you, anyone who's like making this happen. Thanks, please. Thank you."
Did Colin tell us on day 2 that it would be part of the trailer?
So that's funny.
Or is that something that he told us day 1? Because he told us.
Probably
But
day 1 because I had no idea about that.
Okay, yeah, he said you'll probably see your work come November or come
Wow.
Thanksgiving. And I remember being so excited for the trailer, and right smack dab, I was like, "You kidding me?"
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's so great.
but yeah,
Oh man, they got to be extras and they got to be in the original trailer. I'm so jealous of these guys. It is a lifelong dream of mine to be in a Jurassic movie. As long as my face is visible on screen in one of the movies, I don't need lines. I don't need to do anything. I just need to be there. I want it to be canon that I exist in that universe.
yeah. So my first day, I spent that first while in extra holding, and then they called in people that hadn't been in, and we shot. I was on like the 2nd or 3rd floor of the Innovation Center,
That's a really cool staircase.
however far up they built. So you can see like my backpack at the bottom of my pants. But that was when Claire comes in and is meeting the nephews and the
assistant.
yes, yep,
Zara.
who gets
Poor girl.
destroyed.
Best scene in the whole movie. I'm just kidding. I do love that scene though. Yeah.
Like once we get into that stuff's good.
Yeah.
People have made fun of that scene. I like that scene. I think it's pretty intense. It's pretty brutal too.
I mean, I would love to play that character. Like, oh, if I were ever die in a Jurassic Park movie, if it's not that epic, I'm like,
that is one of the best deaths in the entire series. Like it's just so memorable.
Yeah,
it's memorable. I don't want to get too much into it, but like, it's memorable. But like, the thing that's weird to me, it's like that's like majority of her screen time in the entire movie. It's like that death scene. I'm just like, holy shit!
She owned it. Like she did it all the stunts herself. As
I know that behind the scenes stuff is insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the first one, and then we all left and we broke for lunch or something and came back, and that's where you see the Innovation Center picture that I sent you, where Pratt's standing like right by me.
Yeah, that's on the viral website. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they were shooting the next scene they shot a sequence with like that person that's standing in front of him talking to him, and then Claire comes in and is talking about, and he chastises her for not knowing her nephew's names and all that stuff, and I'm sitting right behind him. I'm like, if I guess I'm at like Chris Pratt ass level if I had been interested to look, but he was, I don't know what, I don't keep up with him or anything. I know there's shitty things, there's good things, whatever. But he was real nice to everybody. He talked to the kid that was with me, was a local, and talked to him about crawdads and crawdad season. He's like, "You're not gonna get any. It's out of season right now. You're not gonna get the best ones. You got to come back." I was really interested to find out that they moved the Hammond statue for the connection, because I was real interested about how seamless that looked. Because in the Innovation Center when we were there first time, it was just the wall of green behind him. But they also shot, the scene where Claire sees the little girl and is reminded to think about her nephews, where the mom is reunited.
Yeah, while she's in the control room. Yeah.
They shot that as a full sequence. Like, we were
Oh,
choreographed, walking around the whole thing. I figured that was going to be like, and they had like a zooming, and so I thought this was going to be like a big shot, and it is
right.
just. And then the last thing they had to shoot in the Innovation Center was running out in terror. They're like they're behind you. And so I'm also expecting that in the movie, that there will be dinosaurs tearing through the Innovation Center after us.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that
fascinating.
Yeah, as far as I know, that stuff became like on the viral site, like you said, camera feed footage
Yeah.
that they put up after the movie came out. I don't remember if I ever
Yeah.
like
Yeah, because on the website before the movie came out, like all the camera feed was just kind of like normal day-to-day operations. And you can still see on archive.org, you can see the old versions and you can compare to the, post-movie versions where it is.
Oh, okay. So, see, I wanted to cover the viral marketing website for the channel, but like he said, after the movie came out, all the feeds changed from everyday park going ons to chaos. But if it's archived, I could go to the Internet Archive probably and bring up the old stuff. I'll keep that in mind. That'd be worth taking a look at.
People running. And I guess just to make clear for people who are, watching or listening, you guys were not at the abandoned Six Flags exterior sets. That's totally different location. I mean, it's not too far from where you guys were, but yeah, the exterior shot of the main street and everything and the exterior of the Innovation Center, like that's a totally separate exterior set only, just so people aren't confused. But you guys were all in the interiors. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was it was through the other extras sitting around that I found out, like the same way you did. They'll take you back the next day, because some of the people that I had been talking to had been at Six Flags. So the first time I went down is when I got my map. That's how I have my map and my slap band and stuff. So apparently Six Flags time, they were gifting extras the slap bands. They were letting people have theirs from the day. When I was there the first time, they were collecting all our props at the end of the day. Did they do that with you, with the big trash bag?
Yeah, they held onto your driver's license, so that way it was like an insurance policy that you would give your
They
stuff
didn't
back.
do that the first time I was there. It was between the first time I was there and that second time the map. And that's when, because it says in the earlier documents that they would do that, but they didn't do that for me the first day. That's how I have a map. And it got wet, and so I took it back and I swapped it out, and so I had one to turn in the next time.
You are a Nedry. You are such a Nedry.
I had to figure out a way, man. I could have also made it out with my extra shirt. There was nobody else in the wardrobe tent but the three of us, and they were huge, like separated off rooms. Weren't worried, which was I appreciate the and so I was not going to betray that, but I already had my map from the previous.
Well, especially with so many props for extras like that. I mean, we all know usually what happens to them. They either just get locked away like the Ark of the Covenant, or they just get thrown away. Yeah. So it's like
a lot of that stuff does get thrown away. I'm not even gonna kid you. A lot of props like that, especially props used for extras in movies, if it has that particular movie's logo on it, like this does, yeah, that stuff's going right in the garbage.
It's like, why not just let you guys keep them? So,
and my map, as I've told Derek, has become the map. It's the one I've seen. It's on Parkpedia. It was in an Empire article with Colin and Jay Bayona. It's on the RLM review of Fallen Kingdom. You can tell because it's got a specific crease from having to double fold it over, but trying to fold it real softly so it didn't do that. And then my second day was Mosasaur day 1 with the kids out in the bleachers and everything. And it was that day that I locked my keys in my car, and a different extra that I had met took me out on the town for gator dogs, which are delicious.
What?
Wow. I've really missed out.
Yeah, and like pointed stuff out to me. It was great. It was a real nice. Every extra that I ran into was just so nice, and everybody seemed to just enjoy being there.
Yeah, everyone was so incredible.
John Parker Hammond. Okay. So his canon name for the films is Parker. I want to say in Jurassic Park, what's the name of that game? The PC game that everybody always makes fun of. I want to say he recorded a ton of voiceover for that game. And let me see if I think I have a copy on my computer. I don't know why I'm blanking on the name. Trespasser, Jurassic Park Trespasser. I want to say in that one he says his middle name is something else. I don't know. Somewhere I remember his middle name being different in two different locations. I don't know. I don't remember.
Incredibly nice. I'm a New Yorker, so like I'm always like very like cautious when I see a nice person. Like someone's like, "Good morning," and I'm like, but like, God, everyone was just so pleasant to be around.
And the other stuff, I don't know if you remember seeing being built around the old visitor center, but they were building the elevator. So I'm guessing they must have shot that separate. It was just like over in a corner. I wandered as much as I could.
And that's the elevator that goes up to the control room that's supposed to be in the
That's all I
Innovation
can
Center.
figure it is. I don't remember
Yeah.
any other elevator.
Yeah.
You actually just reminded me. There was I don't think this was in the movie, but there was, and tell me if you remember this. There was this large steel wall with maybe like with like claw marks and blood all over it. Do you remember seeing something like that? It was
I
like
don't think so.
gray steel and like, you know, like how the third
It
movie
feels-
has like those claw
It
marks.
feels like it was probably something to do with Hoskins' death. I
Maybe,
would bet.
but they were like giant like scratches. It looked like a like I guess it would be the Indominus or something like that.
Maybe
so
there
maybe it
was
was
some-
something for that.
Was it the interior of the gift shop? Did
So
they-
the interior of the gift shop was there. They did the exteriors at Six Flags, and so they had built it. None of the actors saw it because they weren't there at night, but they saw like the destroyed set they were shooting it. And then I saw what they had built. They also had the interior of the ACU ambulance in the same warehouse as the visitor center. And I don't know if you remember seeing. You worked with Wong the day before, which is so cool. I just got to see him. He walked by, and they were like, "Do not go in this room." So there's somewhere else. So I guess maybe his secret lab might have been in the same building as the visitor center. And
That sounds about right. Yeah.
That would make sense.
yeah, it was a thing that we were made. It was made explicitly clear, and like they didn't really mind us looking at the old visitor center, so it had to be something.
Yeah, you think it would have been like the old visitor center they wouldn't want anyone to see because that's such an iconic recreation. Yeah.
Nowhere you could hide it. It was huge, and they had live plants. You could hear the bugs in it.
That's so
Like-
I
cool.
forgot about that.
It was something like something else. Like I would just wish they would have kept it there. But like NASA, go build another warehouse to build in. We're keeping this. Well, and even the innovation center set. Like I know when people were first seeing like leaked photos or anything, they're like the green screen. I was like, but they built the full first two floors. They've got like that whole area around with all the placards.
It was incredible.
I was surprised. The most surprising one to me. So I thought there was going to be a raptor attack because in the scene where Claire meets up with Owen, they talk about how a Velociraptor hologram is going to pop up. But we didn't know it was just in the context of just popping up. And they're like, and you're all going to be running out of here. And so it led to some weird like dissonance watching the final movie of things where I thought this would be the thing and it was not.
Well, the raptor still does go through there in the climax when they have the Dilophosaur hologram pop up. So, I mean, not too far off.
Oh, yeah. And I don't know if you saw the picture, but the stickers they put on our cameras, when you peeled them off, would show that they had been peeled because they were like a solid gold with the word tied on them. And when you peeled, it would reveal in gold lettering, like voided or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's genius. That way people can't peel them and then put them back. How would you know though still? I think that's more like because let's say that I put that sticker over my camera. I peel it off. I take pictures or video of the set or whatever, and I slap that bad boy back on. Unless it's showing on the outside of the sticker, then people are going to know. They'll have no way of knowing because they would have to remove the sticker to see what. It'd have to be on the outside of the sticker, yeah?
Yeah.
So that they could
And I didn't
check.
notice that. the first time, because my first day there, I kept the stickers because they were just on my phone. I peeled them off when I got back to my hotel, and then when I got called back for the next day, I just put the same stickers I already had back on my phone. But then I realized they said void, and I was like, "Oh God, please don't tell me I'm going to get fired." I'm like, "I swear I did not take any photos. Please don't kick me out." Thankfully, no one noticed.
I did take photos, but I immediately emailed them to myself and deleted them from my phone.
Nedry.
No,
Nedry.
you work what you gotta work.
But it's cool though, because like if you did,
I mean, if you're not supposed to be taking photos and stuff, don't take photos and stuff. But if you do take photos, I can't say I wouldn't. It depends. I mean, if they're gracious enough to put me in the movie, like if I can get into a movie, then I'm going to obey every single rule like a stickler to a T. But it'll, the smart thing to do is to just hold on to them, wait until the movie comes out, wait till maybe it's a couple of years old and they've made their money and there's no risk of you spoiling anything. Then maybe put it on Instagram then, as long as it doesn't have any important data or stuff you shouldn't be showing, then it should be fine. But again, if I was fortunate enough to live that dream and be able to be in one of these movies, I'd follow everything they said to a T. I'd be so scared they'd take me out and fire me and send me home.
you didn't do that, like all that would be really lost to our memories and time for the most part. Because like
Yeah.
once
It's
filming's
devastating
over,
how much
it's
stuff
demolished.
is gone.
Yeah.
Like, and I get it. Where are you gonna store it?
Yeah, it
like,
costs money. And
Did you guys ever try to be extras on Fallen Kingdom or Dominion? Like, did you like look into it, or was it just kind of impossible?
I looked into it because I was like, I'm gonna bring this character back. I didn't die, but as soon like all of the filming was pretty much like the UK
right.
and some Hawaii. Did they shoot anywhere? Malta, but I mean, like, did they shoot anywhere else like continental US? Because that's
I don't
my
think so.
like I at the time wasn't in financial straits to do anything but drive, so that's why I drove instead of flying. And so they're even like I'm finally settled into a nice solid life where but anything where it was out of country pretty much or out of continental United States was
So no Canada. Yeah. Yeah.
I did try to get into both of them because the second one was in Hawaii for a little bit, and then but that's like way too far. But like, or at least for me, but I would have went if I had been invited.
You find a way. You sell a kidney, you sell off whatever you got in your home. You find a way.
But
Life finds a way. Sorry, I had to.
that didn't go anywhere. And then for the third one, I mean, that's when COVID really was everywhere.
Yeah.
And although interestingly enough, I kind of did get to like dip my toe into Dominion's production a little bit because I'm not sure if you guys had seen the video that I produced with my friend Tim, who directed. It's called Dinosaurs in Our World. It's like a series of news reports.
Mhm.
Because of that, Colin invited us to the premiere of Dominion.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, which was so nice. And he's like, just goes to show like what a down to earth, nice guy he is to like even acknowledge us and to like, just invite us to like this, this religious experience that we would feel as Jurassic fans.
Yeah.
I did not go because I got COVID right before.
Oh, that's right. I
no.
forgot. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I was invited. We were invited like the day before, but that morning I tested positive for COVID.
Oh my god.
So I could not go. But my team was able to go, and they got to meet Colin in person. Even I was like, I already know Colin. We worked together before in this little movie called Jurassic World. I was like, kind of like in the movie, kind of.
Like so many people in the world have seen you, even though they don't. It's just a weird feeling.
Absolutely. And I had like two major fears going into the movie. Either I get cut from the movie, and like if I'm cut, like who the hell's gonna believe I was ever there? There's no evidence besides like this little wristband that I have. But it was either there it is. It was either that or what if I'm like the worst extra in the world and I get made fun of for the rest of my life if that happens. And thankfully neither happened. So, but Here's a demonstration. It's like made of rubber, actually. This little wristband. There you go. You just slap it on.
Oh, I love it.
I have a blue one too, because I saw this one the kids were wearing, and so I was like,
Yeah.
"Ah." And I gave it to the wife while she was away at college, and she's not sure where.
Nice. Is
Got
yours
back
starting
to
to deteriorate? Because mine, I'm not sure if you guys can see, but it's starting to show its age. It's almost 10 years old.
I can't tell, but yeah.
No, not so. It's slightly more. I'm sure you also can't tell from this, but it's slightly more off-white.
This feels like that scene in Jaws where you guys are comparing like your scars, to each other.
Derek has one of my props. I gave it to him as a gift recently. It's one of the canvas bags.
Nice.
Like the part, because they just like handed them out willy-nilly, and as long as you had something to hand back to the prop people for your ID.
Here's the bag that Bo graciously gave me that you were holding when you got soaked by the mosasaur, right? So it's got actual mosasaur water on this. So I'm like, oh my god!
Until it dried,
No, it's still on it. Okay, don't ruin my.
I bet if you did like a chemical test, it probably technically would be, because I've never washed it. It's been safely stored with my other props until.
Oh, good. No washing.
Nice.
Never wash anything ever except yourself. So
yeah, right. I just buy new clothes. I know I have all of the money.
Oh, okay.
All the Jurassic royalties that I get from being an extra.
Exactly.
Real.
You're so extra, Bo. So extra. Yeah.
Here is.
Oh, the famous brochure.
Yeah, that's insane to have that. So you didn't get one of those, Anthony, or you had to give it back?
I think I did have one, but I did have to give it back.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they did give me one, right?
By the second time around, they were taking IDs. Like
that's probably why. It probably got out by that point. And then they were like, all right, let's.
Because it was much more draconian the second, like as far as getting the stuff back. Because the first time, at the end of the day, they just had the trash bag, and so the way I got my first wristband, I just sort of leaned forward and like moved my hand like I was tossing something. Trash bag. So one of the days, for the life of me, I wish I could remember how it happened. But on the way to set, we ended up, the back tires of the bus ended up in a ditch. And so we're on the way to set, and we're just stuck. And like, there's people coming around and like in panic mode, because they're like, these people need to be at set. We're shooting. I don't know how you managed that, but it was a thing that happened. I don't remember much about it now, but we did. The bus went in the ditch.
Making movies comes with the complications, right?
It's always funny because you don't think about those little things that can cause a hiccup, and that could potentially push things off schedule. And movies are very expensive to make, and any slight delay, people go into overtime, and you need people longer. And
all major feature films have delays.
Mm-hmm. I love all these. These are brilliant. I'm a really good clapper because I clapped in the movie, so like now I'm like an expert.
It's your calling card.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I have no facts, but it's the thing I'm thinking about now. That was day 2. So that was my first day in the bleachers. So I wonder if that delayed it enough that's why they had to do second day.
If you're the reason why I got to be in this movie, like,
could you imagine if the bus driver edited it? I mean, that would be a fantastic, like.
I will believe it because that sounds very dramatic, and I love it. So
it's canon now.
It's canon. Well, what'd you guys feel about the movie when you first saw it? Because when I felt like I saw the movie 7 times, but I saw it with like different people. To be like, I'm in a movie. Like let's go see it. So I saw it with several different people, but the first time I saw it, I really couldn't enjoy it because I was just so paranoid the entire time, being like, please tell me I'm in this movie.
See, I watched it twice the first night, both in IMAX, and I got like the seat right next to the other seat because I knew that I was putting a whole bunch of pressure on the movie from 14 years of waiting. Yes. And I wasn't going to be able to enjoy myself. And I was just going to have to take in the plot now and sit back and enjoy it the second show. And I enjoyed it the first show, but like.
Had it really been 14 years? Oh, I guess so. Man. That's a long time. Even in canon, that's a long time. I don't remember in canon what year Jurassic World opened. I'd have to look that up.
It was more of a, oh, don't be terrible. Please
Right.
don't be terrible.
I remember when I first saw Jurassic World, I was kind of just like, because like you said, 14 years of waiting, making all this stuff up in your head, and then like seeing something that like maybe I would have went in another direction on certain things. So I remember at first I saw it, I was kind of just like, eh. Now I've come around to be like enough time has passed where I've like lived with it, and I'm like, actually, it's pretty solid.
When I saw Jurassic World, I saw it like 10 times because I'm crazy. So I saw it.
Isla Nublar was reclaimed, and construction began sometime after Jurassic Park 3, which takes place in 2001. Well, we knew that. Jurassic World officially opened in 2005, as confirmed by the Mizrahi Global website, a tie-in created for Jurassic World's release and other in-universe promotional material. The events of Jurassic World, the film, take place in 2015, which we knew, which means the park had been open and operating for 10 years before everything went wrong again. See, that is just... it's crazy.
10 times, but
all three of us are. We're all at least over 5. I think I'm probably around 7 as well.
Yeah, and I think it was because I was like trying to.
Is that Chris? That is Chris from Jurassic Outpost. I don't know these other guys.
To make up for lost time, like 14 years of nothing, because we didn't know for sure there would be sequels after this. I was like, I'm gonna see as many times as I can. And the first time,
and then the dollars came in, and we were like, "Oh, people want us!" Like, I remember people making some predictions, and I was like, "I'm excited about this too," but I think, and then they were right.
Yeah, everyone. I feel like a lot of industry professionals and like trackers, they really like underestimated how much
everyone.
They were like, yeah, and it was so like gratifying, like waiting all these years to see like the franchise you loved during the dead period, like be like the most popular movie of all, like the third most popular, whatever it was, and it was just like, damn.
No, it was the most popular.
I'm like, I'm glad it came alive again. Like, it took on a new life. Now we are legacy characters, I guess.
we are. They can make toys of us someday when they make toys of every single character, and they'll give us like weird little names like Star Wars characters.
Did they do this to you? They took photos of like some of us, and they were like, you could be like on an action figure, like your likeness could be on an action figure.
No,
and I remember being like, please.
So the picture, they were taking those of you people that did the green screen stuff. So I don't know if were they like making composites of you? Like, were they placing you guys other places too? Is that...
That's where I was. I looked for that. Like
there
almost
might
anywhere.
be a 3D model of you somewhere in ILM's database.
Oh my god! You're probably in a bunch of other movies you'll even know about.
Yeah, just.
Oh my god, that'd be like so cool. I probably did. I honestly.
Mark Hamill it and get all the toys.
And make no money off of it.
Of course. That's the way. This is the way.
I think it was just such an honor to be a part of it, and like even such a small way to, maybe it seems silly to be like, we're in a Jurassic Park movie, but like for being in it but we are a part of it, and I think it should be cool.
And I say that both ironically and unironically. Like it's freaking dope.
Yeah.
But we're there for filming, like.
To be a part of the legacy, and just I think everyone who was there, Jurassic had been kind of dead for a while, but everyone there loved the first movie. I think every single person. I think that's why it was such a positive set, because like everyone just wanted to be there and never. I mean, I don't know. At least for me, it didn't feel like work. It was like I'm on a vacation.
And they paid me and they fed me to be there. I would have done it for free.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You suckers paid me. I'd have done this for free. I would have. I'd do anything for this franchise.
Yeah, I lost money doing it. Like I think. Like I but like I'm like it's fine.
It's an experience.
I'd have paid you to be here.
That I'll never get to have again.
Yeah, and now we'll forever be a part of Jurassic Legacy.
In the next segment, I am joined with Brent Capel, who also became an extra for Jurassic World. Our conversation begins with a detailed look at the massive Main Street set.
All right, folks. Well, I'll see you guys in part 3. Yeah, I really need to learn all of the people in these segments and see if they have social media accounts and follow them. Because like I said, I was so in the dark when Jurassic World was being filmed and when it came out. I remember going and seeing it because I've seen every Jurassic movie in theaters and I'll never break that chain. But I did. I went and saw it. I think I went and saw it twice. I went and saw it. I had to drive out of town to see it in the good theater, and then I came home and saw it in our crappy little hometown theater, which has since been demolished. I watched all 3 of the original Jurassic Parks here where I live, and then I watched Jurassic World, and I want to say Fallen Kingdom. I don't know if I saw Fallen Kingdom here. I can't remember, but I remember I had to go out of town. Because I live in the sticks, I had to travel to see Dominion. But we'll keep taking a look at these. I'm having a lot of fun listening to these guys tell their stories. It's fun to see extras and people who you've never seen in your life be a part of something so grandiose. Like I said, it is a dream of mine. I want to go out to Hawaii. I want to see the set, the fallen log and the little plaque that says Jurassic Park. I know it's just a stick and dirt, but it still would be kind of almost a spiritual journey for me since it means so much to me. And like I said, I would love to just be in one of these movies, be immortalized in something that's meant so much to me for so many years. And like they said, 14 years was the dry period, but I never gave up loving it 1 second over all of those years. Not 1 little second. But I'll be back with another part. I don't know if it'll be the exact next video in this playlist because I'm trying to record so much for Jurassic June. But I will get this series done. See you, folks.